In 2023, the Adam and Graham podcast released 6 episodes. By the end of the groundbreaking series, each episode was downloaded by at least 20 different people, making this Adam and Graham's most successful podcast of all time. What listeners don't know is that these were recorded over multiple years. There were many more recordings between that time. Welcome to the Adam and Graham Show, the Lost Tapes.
There you go, Graham. Here's your cup of tea.
Looks like water to me.
Brilliant. So we can't use that in the show, can we? Why do you keep doing that?
What do you mean?
The whole point of the show, Graham, is that we're drinking tea and biscuits, isn't it? So stop pointing out that the tea is just water.
Well, why don't you just use tea then?
It shouldn't be that difficult, Graham. It's called improvisation. Yeah, improvisation.
What?
Improvisation is what all the big actors do. When Robert Redford is drinking from a whiskey flask, he's not actually drinking whiskey, is he?
Why not? Surely Warner Brothers or whoever can afford a bottle of whiskey.
It's not about the money, is it? If you have to keep doing the take, drinking the same drink, you'll get drunk. And then you start slurring. That's not good for a podcast, is it? Slurring.
Well, we're not going to get drunk drinking tea, are we?
No, but look, it's just unprofessional, isn't it? You should just be able to use your imagination. Just imagine that that water is tea.
Is this that cost of living thing? Are you struggling?
What's with all the questions? Who do you think you are, Columbo?
Why do you keep going on about that Columbo?
Just reminds me of you always asking questions. You know who Columbo is, don't you?
Yes, you've told me before. You've shown me pictures of Columbo, the detective from our old TV show that had a coat.
Yeah, he had a very famous coat. What else? What else can you tell me about the greatest TV detective ever, Columbo?
Oh, Adam, stop trying to teach me about Columbo.
What was his famous saying? What did he always say, Graham?
Oh, I don't... one more time. Oh no, that's a Daft Punk song. What? One more thing.
Yeah, that's right. He lifts his finger, doesn't he? He goes, one more thing. What? One more thing.
He says it twice.
No, I'm just practicing. What? One more thing. One more thing.
That's a rubbish catchphrase.
No, it isn't. It's because you don't understand the context. You've never actually seen the show.
Yeah, well, you don't really sell it very well. It's just a detective with a coat that goes around going, what, one more thing?
Okay, so let me just explain a typical episode of Columbo.
It's okay. Oh, what's a nice cup of tea?
So, very early on in a Columbo episode, you get to see who the murderer is, which kind of goes against the face of everything, every detective show that had existed up until that point, where the murderer would be revealed at the end. But in Columbo, they exposed the murderer at the beginning.
Ooh.
Was that a sarcastic ooh?
Nah, it was a real ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right, because he spends a whole show getting to know the murderer.
Why does he bother doing that with a murderer?
Well, that's the thing, Graham. He doesn't know that he's a murderer. Only the audience, we know that the murderer is a murderer.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Essentially, the whole show is Columbo trying to get the murderer into a trap. And eventually, the murderer will make an accident. The murderer will incriminate themselves in front of Columbo.
Oh, yeah, sounds good.
So, in every episode, we as the viewer, we always get to a point where we feel like, Columbo hasn't got it. The murderer's been too sneaky. And Columbo turns away and we think, oh no, he doesn't see that he's a murderer. And then suddenly he twirls around, lifts his finger, one more thing. And we, as a collective audience, we all together go,
Adam, are you okay?
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that one more thing line. It's like a build. Through the episode, there's this building tension, and then at the end, there's just like this massive climax that just explodes all over the screen, and not just the screen, like the living room. There's just this pure euphoria around the living room of just utter joy and relief. There's been nothing like it since, Graham.
Are there episodes where he just doesn't do the one more thing and just walks off?
No, what? Why would they have Columbo not doing the one more thing and just walking off?
Well, if he does the one more thing at the end of every episode, don't you sort of know that it's coming? And so the climax isn't as strong.
No, it's the journey, isn't it? What is it? It's not the journey. No. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on, sorry.
What was that?
Oh, it's just my ringtone.
So I have another question about Columbo. When he's just walking away, is he actually like, oh, I've just thought of something, and then turns round and asks one more thing? Otherwise he could just skip that part, couldn't he, and just ask the question? Or does he leave it hanging on purpose and walk away to tease the murderer, to sort of rub salt in their wounds?
Did you just say rub salt in their wounds?
Yeah, it's just that saying, isn't it? Rubbing salt in their wounds.
No, it's rubbing salt in their wounds.
Why would it be wounds?
Because salt has an adverse effect on wounds, doesn't it?
I'm sure if you put salt in a wound, it would...
You can't do that, Graham.
Why not? What did I say?
You're mansplaining.
What's mansplaining?
According to the Daily Mail, it is okay to mansplain because most scientists are men.
Well, that makes no sense.
Yes, it does. The effect of rubbing salt into a wound is scientific. Who are you going to believe more? Women or scientists?
He's got you there.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I think he does. He does.
No, I don't think he does.
If Colin had a mic, he'll drop it.
I can do a sound effect.
Classic Colin.